When I was a kid, my dad brought me home an old DOS 386 PC that was being thrown out by the hospital he worked at. And one of the first games I played on it was Wolfenstein 3D, mainly as Doom didn't have a hope in hell working on it. But if you think I'm going to start my review as a nostalgia trip, talking about all the hours I rolled away playing it, you're wrong. I thought it was a bit crap in all honesty. Return to Castle Wolfenstein was where it was at for me. God knows how many hours I plumped into playing the multiplayer on the Xbox version. But after a pretty disappointing follow-up, riding the waves of naming sequels the same as the original, Wolfenstein, we finally have the latest in the series, Wolfenstein: The New Order. Set in the alternate reality of 1946 and later 1960, where the Nazis have won World War II, and also for the record, we're not all speaking German without your help, America, thank you very much, you once again are placed in the Doc Martens of B.J. Blazkowicz, a man who has undergone John Cena look-like surgery this time around, who awakens from a 14-year coma and immediately goes on a jolly Nazi decimating adventure to find the resistance. If there is one. Developed by Machine Games, The New Order is the first game by ex-Starbreeze studio staff, so the game has a little of the Riddick games in its feeling and runs on the same engine as Rage. But the game in general feels more like Activision's 2010 game Singularity, which is a great thing as Singularity is an overlooked classic. So in other words, I think I just said it feels like it borrows from a lot of other games, but don't quote me on that. There's some gripes I have with the game, mainly the lazy ports and the next-gen versions. I'm playing the PS4 version for this review, but you'd be forgiven in thinking it was a PS3 game. In fact, I highly suspect it is the PS3 version, as they couldn't even be asked to put in higher quality textures. So all that extra 10 quid for the next-gen version offers you is 1080p and 60 frames per second. It would have also been nice to see a multiplayer component in there. I know there's a bunch of snotty purists out there who'll preach that it's best that they concentrate on the single player, also that the last Wolfenstein's multiplayer was a pile of shit, which it was. But Return to Castle Wolfenstein's multiplayer was pretty much multiplayer nirvana. All you need to do is re-release an HD version of it and I'll be your bestest friend forever. On the plus side, there's a few things in there I did quite enjoy. The blowtorch gun thing that allowed you to cut holes in chicken wire as you see fit, that's quite creative. And for a game that feels like it's going to be linear, has some nice alternative paths to complete some objectives, and you pretty much get free rein on the stealthy segments. There was quite a few times I assassinated a guard one time, only to groan that there was a cool air vent or something that I could have also utilised. And there's one decision that you'll have to make right at the beginning of the game that splits the rest of the story in two separate timelines. So there's a bit of replayability there if that's your sort of thing. But it's ironic that in a world where first-person shooters abandoned the World War II aspect in favour of more modern gritty settings as fighting Nazis is cliched, it's quite refreshing in 2014 to actually fight the Axis once again, and with the nice return of the cyborg zombie mega Nazi experiments that was sadly neglected in the last title, The New Order is great fun to play. If you're looking for something groundbreaking or innovative, you're not really going to find anything here. But if you want to play a big, dumb, over-the-top, unrealistic FPS, then you could do no wrong with Wolfenstein: The New Order.